This evening, a legal battle over a crane operator's death is looming as attorney Roycel Ford demands $80 million in compensation from Tupui Group Incorporated, owned by Mikhail Rodrigues. Conflicting claims surrounding a settlement agreement have intensified the legal dispute, raising questions about accountability and justice for the family. Evaluation of Cemetery Road project. The Minister of Public Works conducted an evaluation of the project and found that the contractor failed to meet contractual obligations. The minister announced that if the company does not complete the work by the end of March, the contract will be terminated. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan announced plans to enhance collaboration between miners and authorities in Region 7 after the tragic death of a miner and his porter during a robbery. The Public Police Service Commission has launched its website, enabling individuals to apply for public sector jobs and promotions online. In Colombia, thousands of protesters vented their anger against President Gustavo Petro's push for economic and social reforms. The president's attempt to overhaul healthcare, pension, and labor laws are facing widespread opposition. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for March 7, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a legal battle looms over the death of crane operator Sean Anthony Joseph as attorney Roycel Ford, representing the deceased wife, demands $80 million in compensation from Tupui Group Incorporated, owned by Mikhail Rodrigues, also known as the Guyanese critic. Joseph, 34, tragically lost his life last October when a crane toppled at a construction site in Providence, East Bank Demerara. In a letter addressed to Tupui Group Incorporated Director Winston Martindale, Ford emphasized their intention to pursue legal recourse if an amicable settlement isn't reached by March 15, 2024. The letter highlights the circumstances of Joseph's death during his employment at the company's work site. According to police reports, Joseph was contacted to build a wharf when the crane he operated toppled, pinning him underneath. Rodrigues, the company's public relations consultant, expressed condolences and stated that the company cooperated with the family. However, allegations have surfaced against Rodrigues, accusing him of failing to fulfill a $5 million settlement with the family. Prominent businessman Nazir Mohammed alleges that Rodrigues collected the money but only provided some $460,000 to the family, prompting Mohammed's intervention. In response, Rodrigues denied allegations, asserting that Mohammed did not provide funds for any settlement agreement. The conflicting claims have intensified the legal dispute surrounding Joseph's untimely demise, raising questions about accountability and justice for the family. Also making the headlines, in an ongoing effort to ensure infrastructure works are completed according to schedule and to facilitate the country's development, the Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgehill, conducted an evaluation of the Cemetery Road project and found that the contractor Avinash Construction and Metalworks Company have failed to meet contractual obligations. Minister Edgehill announced on Tuesday that if the company does not complete the work by the end of March, the contract will be terminated. During his visit to the site, he emphasized the importance of fulfilling commitments and urged the contractor to submit a revised work program indicating plans to meet the extended deadline. The $475 million project aims to expand the two-lane carriageway into 4 lanes to alleviate traffic congestion. Initially scheduled for completion in July 2023, the deadline was extended to January 2024. In addition to expanding Cemetery Road, the project includes enhancing Independence Boulevard, aligning with the government's vision for community development and modernizing the capital city. On a different note, Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein adjourned the meeting session this morning between the Ghana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education to consult with his superiors. The Ministry of Education could not immediately agree to the GTU's proposal regarding teachers' salary increases. The discussion between the union and the government are centered on negotiating improved salaries and wages as outlined in the union's collective bargaining agreement. According to reliable sources, the two sides could not agree on the terms of reference regarding salary increases outlined in the GTU's proposal. The GTU's president, Mark Light, expressed dissatisfaction with the morning session of the meeting. Following his consultation with his superiors, Mr. Hussein is anticipated to reconvene with the union at 2 p.m. today. Further updates on the meeting's outcomes are expected after the afternoon session. Headline News will bring you the details as they become available. Stick around when we return. Public Police Service Commission launches website for online job applications, and President Ali proposes enhanced collaboration for minor safety.
Experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali has announced plans to enhance collaboration between miners and authorities in Region 7 Cuyuni-Mazaruni to improve security measures and ensure the safety of those engaged in mining activities. The decision follows concerns after the tragic death of 50-year-old miner Zahir Mohammed Sharif and his 26-year-old porter, Donovan Washington, during a robbery in Amairubat Dam, Cuyuni River, Region 7. During an engagement with miners in Bartica, one miner expressed security concerns, particularly the need for better patrols in interior areas. In response, President Ali pledged to arrange a meeting between miners and the police commissioner to discuss ways to enhance collaboration. President Ali also emphasized the importance of miners building networks among themselves to provide mutual support and enhance safety measures in the mining areas. Moving on, the Public Police Service Commission has launched its website www.ppsc.gov.gy, enabling individuals to apply for public sector jobs and promotion online. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gilto Shearer highlighted the government's commitment to digitalizing agencies and promoting inclusivity, fairness, and transparency. The website aligns with Guyana's obligations against corruption under international conventions, emphasizing recruitment and appointment accountability. Shearer emphasized the importance of fairness and transparency in the application process and urged individuals to enhance their qualifications if they still need to meet the criteria for desired positions. Chairman of the Commission, Maniram Prasad described the website's launch as pivotal in modernizing and enhancing public service efficiency. He highlighted the website's role in streamlining processes and ensuring transparency, with plans to involve agency heads in applicant shortlisting. The Commission oversees 36 agencies and manages staffing requirements for over 13,000 employees. During the launch, the demonstration of the website's features was provided to members of the public service. In other news, government agencies including the Guyana Fire Service, Guyana Sugar Corporation, and the Regional Democratic Council of Region 5 collaborated this week to extinguish fires in the Bushlot and Woodley Park areas of Region 5 Mahai-Cabo East. The fires, which started on February 26, were successfully contained by Monday, March 4, 2024. The ongoing dry season has led to an increase in wildfires and forest fires across the coastal and inland regions. In response, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips has directed the Civil Defense Commission to coordinate a multi-agency team to manage the crisis. Residents are urged to report all fires promptly to 912, the nearest police station, their RDC or Neighborhood Democratic Council, village leaders, or to show, or the 24-hour National Emergency Monitoring System on 600-7500. Don't go away after the break. Polish farmers block Ukraine's border in protest against grain imports, and Senegal sets delay presidential elections for March 24th.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How do smiles make fashionable faces? See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Cab Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In Colombia, thousands of protesters vented their anger against President Gustavo Petro's push for economic and social reform. The president's attempt to overhaul healthcare, pension, and labor laws are facing widespread opposition. Al Jazeera's Alexandria Rampietti reports.
Fuera Petro, or Petro out, has become the rallying cry for those who express a deep discontent with the reforms backed by the leftist government of Gustavo Petro. Thousands took to the streets in the capital Bogotá and across major cities in the largest rallies since Petro, a former rebel fighter in his youth, took power 2 years ago, promising to fight poverty and inequality. They believe overhauling healthcare, pensions and labor laws put them and the country at risk.
I'm here for the future of my children, for the youth, because they will not have one otherwise, because I'm afraid to lose my health services. Yes, we need to fix some things, but not destroy the system that we have.
Protesters also marched against Petro's attempts at reaching peace deals with remaining armed groups in the country, which they say weakened the military. Some flew Israel's flag in support of its war on Gaza, which Petro openly criticized. The protesters also believe that the return of a former paramilitary commander, Salvatore Mancuso, is a political move to target their leader, former President Álvaro Uribe. Uribe is accused of having links to Mancuso's group.
That is clearly what is happening. That's why they went looking for Mancuso in prison and are offering him benefits to attack others. The president and his political party are full of resentment and hatred. What can you expect from a person that was a guerrilla fighter?
The protesters who took to the streets on Wednesday were in general whiter, older and richer than the average Colombian, representatives of a portion of the country that has long been in power and is hoping to regain it soon.
If they want to grow, they need to diversify the number of parts that protest against the Petro government, and they need to draw out a stronger reaction from the administration. Having said that, I think the opposition still relies on very polarizing figures such as Álvaro Uribe Vélez as their main sort of standard bearers, and that could bring out a huge weakness about them.
In the end, this was a major success for opposition parties in Colombia. It shows that their base is motivated and willing to come out and protest against policies they believe could hurt the country. And for many here, this is also the first step of a campaign to retake power in 2 years' time. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Bogotá.
Internationally, farmers in Poland have clashed with police during a protest in Warsaw. They've been demonstrating for months against Ukrainian import and EU climate policies. Al Jazeera's Steph Wesson reports.
Farmers vent their anger on riot police in Warsaw. Protests against policies from Brussels are escalating, and these farmers increasingly consider the EU their enemy. Only 2 years ago, thousands of Ukrainian refugees were warmly welcomed at this border. Now it's blocked. Polish farmers say EU support for Ukraine has gone too far.
Ukrainian grain is flooding Poland and we're getting poorer and poorer. We don't know what to do with our products anymore.
Roman Kondrów produces grain and corn close to the border. He says after Russia invaded Ukraine and the EU lifted import duties on Ukrainian grain, he lost most of his income. He does not believe Ukraine's claim that only 5% of its grain is passing through Poland.
This is our pain. I want the government to take concrete decisions. We want actions. I want the government to understand and help us financially, or to export this grain from Ukraine to countries in Africa, for example.
The blockades have caused kilometers-long queues of Ukrainian trucks at the border. Some haven't moved for weeks. The border blockades are causing major delays of deliveries of goods into Ukraine. And while the farmers are saying that they let military and humanitarian aid pass, these protests have seriously damaged Ukraine's relationship with the one country that helped it most since Russia invaded. Every day, Ukrainian drivers hope the blockades will end so their goods can pass. They don't understand why Polish farmers have gone this far.
I asked the Polish farmers, what else do you need in Europe? They have zero loans, they have everything, and they are still carrying banners complaining. In Ukraine, everything is much more difficult for us.
Ukraine has accused the protesters of having a political motive, especially with EU elections coming up in June. Images of farmers carrying pro-Russian banners in support of President Putin have made things even worse. But the farmers insist they'll remove the blockades as long as their incomes and their future can be guaranteed. Step Fasten, Al Jazeera, Medica, at the Polish-Ukrainian border.
Finally, after weeks of political turmoil and protests, Senegal's President Macky Sall has set a date for the delayed presidential elections. It's due to take place on March 24th. A top court ruled that a proposal to hold a vote after Sall's mandate expires was unconstitutional. Al Jazeera's Nicholas Haig reports.
Finally, a date to Senegal's presidential elections. A month after President Macky Sall delayed February's polls citing concerns over corruption over the list of candidates, the Senegalese people will go to the polls on March 24th, a date made public in a statement after the weekly cabinet meeting. The Constitutional Council rejected Sall's suggested election date of June 2nd, saying he cannot overstay his time in power to organize the vote. His term ends on April 2nd. His decision to delay the polls sparked widespread protest and condemnation, including among his closest allies.
Enough is enough. Senegal deserves better. What Macky Sall has done will affect his legacy and that of the country for future generations, and our country's democracy.
In an attempt to appease the crisis, members of parliament adopted an amnesty law. Between 2021 and 2023, Senegal witnessed several episodes of violent political unrest. Thousands of protesters were picked up by security forces during that time, including opposition leader Ousmane Sonko. He could be released, but rights groups criticized this amnesty law.
It is a denial of the right to justice, truth and transparency. So just deciding that an amnesty law will be voted in Senegal after saying for 3 years that investigations have been going on such elements, such as the killings of more than 60 protesters in Senegal, in the detention of around 1,000 persons who were participating in protest, is just a denial of justice. It's just a cop-out from the government.
Sall has dissolved the government to allow the ruling party candidate, Prime Minister Amadou Ba, to focus on the upcoming campaign that is now shorter than expected.
At the end of the day, the main question that remains is why did he postpone these elections in the first place? Because he first mentioned and talked about an institutional crisis. Today, we have the proof that Senegal is in no institutional crisis and in no form of crisis.
The Constitutional Council's decision to stand up to the president and reject his suggested election date is seen as a tribute to Senegalese democracy. And the new election date comes as a relief to many Senegalese who will finally have a say over their country's future. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera, Dakar.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the Radio Weather Forecast. And that's it to be 2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.